Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. A deadly crash backs up traffic in both directions along I-5 near the Grapevine as tired travelers try to make their way home after the weekend. We'll tell you what CHP says happened.
A second accuser comes forward against Monsignor Craig Harrison. We'll have reaction from the diocese and what Harrison's attorney had to say.
It was a hot one this weekend, the kind that will soon have locals itching to cool off in the waters of the Kern. Today, a yearly ritual to remind people of what lies beneath the surface in those dangerous currents. This is Monday, April 29th, 2019. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher and Alyssa Carlson in once again for Kevin Charette.
Yeah, we had a few rumbles in the air this morning.
Yeah, what was that?
It was in the forecast.
It wasn't the garbage truck. I thought it was.
Definitely a surprise this morning.
You know, we had that slight chance of showers in the forecast. We talked about it all last week for this morning. And then to see a thunderstorm fire on up, I was like, ooh, it's actually happening. Here, yeah. Thunderstorms possible this morning, 62 degrees. By noon, 69. And then at 5 o'clock, 74 degrees. As we take a look at the mountain forecast, we also have that chance of pop-up thunderstorms this morning mainly, and temperatures will be near 50. Much cooler day today, though.
Well, traffic is flowing again after a deadly crash on the Grapevine. It happened just before 5:30 last night on northbound I-5 just south of Grapevine Road. The CHP says a white Chevy Silverado was headed north at a high rate of speed when the driver veered right, then left for unknown reasons. The truck collided with the concrete wall of the center divider and rolled down an embankment. The CHP says the driver was the only person in that truck, a man in his 40s, and he was ejected. He died at the scene. Officers shut down one northbound lane for several hours while they investigated, which caused traffic to back up in both directions. The CHP does not know whether drugs or alcohol were factors in this crash.
Further north, I-5 was also shut down after a chase resulted in a call for the KCSO SWAT team. The chase started around 6:30 yesterday morning, just off the 210 freeway in Los Angeles. CHP called in for more officers after a man, his wife, and 2 kids started driving at a high rate of speed northbound on Interstate 5. The chase came to an end after officers deployed a spike strip to stop the car just south of Highway 58 near Buttonwillow. That forced a shutdown of both directions of I-5. The CHP says the woman passenger got out of the car and displayed obvious signs of trauma. Officers told her husband, the driver, to get out of the car, but he refused. At that point, the Kern County Sheriff's SWAT team were called to the scene. After some time, the man got out of the car and briefly struggled with officers before he was taken into custody. He was taken to Kern County Medical with minor injuries and then booked into county jail. Buttonwillow CHP was working to reunite the kids with family members in the Los Angeles area.
A second person has come forward with sexual misconduct allegations against Monsignor Craig Harrison. The Diocese of Fresno confirms the second person reported the alleged incident on Thursday after the first accusation was made public. Teresa Dominguez, a spokeswoman for the diocese, says the diocese encouraged the accuser to report the incident to the Merced Police Department, which has jurisdiction over the area where the alleged abuse occurred. The person agreed, and Merced Police is now investigating. The diocese says it will continue its own investigation into the case, but has not offered any details. We've put several calls out to Merced PD and are waiting to hear back. Meantime, we reached out to Kyle Humphrey, Monsignor Harrison's attorney. He released the following statement in response to the new allegations. In part, he says, these people are committing character assassination on a good man. We will continue to fight against these false allegations, and we will restore Monsignor Craig's good name and see him reinstated to his rightful place as pastor of St. Francis Parish. To read the complete response, you can head to our website, KGET.com.
A man is behind bars and another is still on the run after a traffic stop led to a police chase. It all started around 4:30 yesterday near Niles Street and Mount Vernon Avenue. Bakersfield Police Department says officers tried to stop a driver, but instead the driver sped off and led officers on a short chase. The driver eventually crashed into a parked car. That's when he and his passenger jumped out and took off running. Officers tracked down 19-year-old Daryl Bogan nearby. They arrested and booked him on several charges, including possession of a stolen vehicle, felon possession of ammunition, possession of methamphetamine, and an outstanding felony warrant. The car was reported stolen out of San Luis Obispo County. Police are still searching for the second suspect.
It's 5:06 now. A different stolen car led to a standoff at a Southwest Bakersfield hotel. It happened yesterday morning in the parking lot of the Motel 6 on White Lane. BPD got a call about a stolen car. The CHP says the driver wasn't cooperating with officers and a standoff ensued. Officers evacuated the hotel as a precaution.
Well, while being uncooperative, he smoked multiple cigarettes, made multiple phone calls, and he kept ducking down, so we didn't know what he had in the vehicle or what his plans were or anything like that. But once the rear window was shattered, like I said, he did cooperate with the remaining orders.
BPD officers broke out the rear window with a 40-milliliter launcher. The car will now be returned to its rightful owners.
The man police say threatened to sexually assault employees at a downtown Bakersfield coffee shop is set to appear before a judge today. You may remember the owners at Blue Oak Coffee described the frightening moments earlier this month. They say they'd been open for less than an hour when a man came inside and threatened to rape them. The man police say made the threats is 23-year-old Joshua Harris. He remains behind bars and is being held on a $25,000 bail. He's set to appear in court later this morning.
The Delano Police Department wants the community to get to know the men and women keeping their streets safe. The department's holding a neighborhood block party happening today from 3 to 6:30 in Delano in the 100 block of Dover Place, just off 1st Avenue. The event's free. There will be food, music, and a bounce house.
Well, as the weather continues to heat up, the Sheriff's Office and Kern River Conservancy are encouraging everyone to enjoy our local waterways safely. They plan to do that with a 3-part campaign, which starts today. KCSO will update the warning sign as you enter the canyon that tallies the number of deaths in the Kern River. They'll talk about what the season is expected to look like for water flow with high snowpack levels this year, as well as where people can rent life preservers for free. Then on Thursday in Keysville, there will be a water safety demonstration with river guides and search and rescue. And next Monday, the agencies will highlight ways you can enjoy the water safely with professional guides. In 2017, Kern County tied the record for deaths in the Kern River with 15 people losing their lives in the swift currents.
Welcome back in your Health Watch. Folks in Kern County got together to show their passion for improving the health of babies. Hundreds of people came out to Riverwalk Saturday to march for babies, supporting and raising awareness about the importance of prenatal care. Organizers say babies born prematurely are at a greater risk of dying.
So this is a Remember, Hope, and Celebrate event. We remember all the babies that are survivors and that did not survive, and we hope for a future that all babies will be born healthy.
Advocates say expecting mothers should take prenatal vitamins, avoid drinking and smoking, and get regular medical care.
As the measles outbreak continues to grow, people were on edge yesterday when a plane was quarantined at JFK Airport in New York. The plane came from the Dominican Republic, and it was not allowed at the gate because of reports someone on board was sick. Officials had gotten reports someone on the plane may have had measles. Medical personnel entered the plane to check out all passengers. Officials said the person they thought may have had measles appeared to have mosquito bites. Passengers were eventually given the all clear and were allowed to deplane normally.
It's a rare disease and it's difficult to diagnose. It's called Sarcoidosis. But one woman from Illinois is sharing her story to raise awareness and find a cure. Lauren Petty reports.
Even with her husband by her side, Leslie Berry has had a long road.
My journey began in the end of 2016, going into 17.
That's when Leslie started experiencing fatigue and shortness of breath. But it took nearly 9 months of tests to figure out why.
Truthfully, my reaction was, what the hell is that? How do you spell it? And how did I get this? Because I didn't know what it was.
It was sarcoidosis, a rare inflammatory disease that had impacted her lungs and lymph nodes.
200,000 people in the United States have sarcoidosis. So I guess I'm special because, nobody gets this. And when people get it, they don't know what it is.
It's a chronic inflammatory disease. It's not an infection. It's not a malignancy.
Dr. Peter Sporn at Northwestern Medicine says there have been no major advances in sarcoidosis treatment in years.
Research funding for sarcoidosis has lagged behind funding for other diseases. We're working to change that.
By giving this disease more of a voice, we're letting industry know that our science is here, our patients are here, and there is a huge, huge need to not just find a cure, but to really get treatments to help patients live day to day.
And working with specialists, including Dr. Sporn and the Bernie Mac Sarcoidosis Center at UI Health, to better understand the rare disease that has taken over Leslie Berry's life.
We used to walk maybe 3 to 5 miles a day. I can't sometimes walk to the car.
But Leslie isn't giving up hope. Hope
that they find something that could cure this, that really can cure this.
In the U.S., sarcoidosis is the most common in African Americans and people of Scandinavian descent. The Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research works to match patients to clinical trials, including one that's starting soon in Chicago. Yet another infant sleeper is being yanked from store shelves just weeks after Fisher-Price recalled its deadly rock-and-play sleeper. Kids 2 has recalled all models of its rocking sleepers, nearly 700,000 units, because since 2012, 5 infants have died while using the sleepers. The sleepers were sold at major retailers across the country, including Walmart, Target, and Toys R Us. Kids 2 says to stop using the sleepers and contact the company for a refund or voucher. Earlier this month, Fisher-Price recalled nearly 5 million rock-and-play sleepers after being blamed for infant deaths. Fisher-Price and its parent company Mattel are now facing a class action lawsuit. Well, Starbucks is bringing back a fan favorite, s'mores frappuccinos. The drink made its debut in 2015 and quickly became a summer staple, but the coffee company didn't bring back the beverage last summer, and many customers weren't so happy. Starbucks has joked customers blamed the coffee giant for ruining summer, so it's listening and bringing it back. It will be available starting tomorrow and will stick around while supplies last.
Just seems too sweet. I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, milkshake, not
I just like a good
coffee.
old s'mores in front of a campfire.
That's
the way to enjoy s'mores. All right, thanks, Maddie.
Thanks for listening to the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's a 15-minute summary of everything you need to know about Kern County. There's a new episode every weekday.